Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about rod socks, rod covers, whatever you want to call them. I know it's not the most exciting topic to cover, but there is a big difference between this one and this one. So if you guys watched the previous video on my Yakima box review, I know a big part of my problem is that it's mounted on a trailer that's pretty light, even though it's steel, and it's mounted on an angle, so it bounces around a lot. So that, even with tightening down on the straps inside the box itself, my rods still move about the box, and when I pre-rig my gear, the lures still come off the rods. It gets all tangled up in there. So I was going to change to where I just set up when I get to the boat ramp. But just like the rest of us, when we get to the water, we're really excited just to get our gear ready and out on the water and get our day started. So I bit the bullet and end up getting rod socks. But the difference between a regular rod sock like this and one like this is that this one that I got from Rod Protec, and I'm going to put the link in the description below, not sponsored by them. I just did a little bit of research, and if you know me, I like supporting local and buying, USA made products. This company is out of St. Petersburg, Florida. So, to us, it's local, just like our brand Overslot. They're out of Florida as well. So I want to support local. They're made in the USA. And there is a big difference between just your regular standard $7, $10 one to this one, which is not much more. And you can see I got it customized with my logo on it as well, which is not a big cost added to these as well. But the biggest difference between these two is that this is just like a mesh material. Yes, there's nothing wrong with this. It does protect your rod somewhat, but the rod socks, actually let's get the one for let's get the casting one here. The rod socks from Rod Protec it's a neoprene cover. So this is going to give you a lot more protection overall. It also has a built-in lure wrap. And I don't know if you can see inside here, but this is a hard, almost like a hard case wrapped around the neoprene. And it gives you your lure cover too as well. So when I rig up this rod, I'm going to show you guys here real quick. My rod's rigged up here. This neoprene stuff just slides on like it's nothing, like it's butter. And as you come down, it's got a bigger hole to cover your lure. So all I got to do is get it slid over the lure here and wrap it around the handle or wherever you want to tie it to. So now when this thing is inside my rod box, it's going to give me my rod protection because it's still moving inside the box, like I said. Even though when they get together inside the box, they stay together for the most part, but I know they're still getting banged up. And I wasn't really too concerned about the rods, but I am in a way. But I figured over time I'm going to get even probably higher end rods down the line, maybe. But this biggest factor of this from Rod Protec is that it has the lure keeper cover as well. So when this is all inside my box here, these are going to protect my rod and also cover my lure as well. So if it does fall off, it's going to stay inside the rod cover, or inside the rod cover lure protector as well. And what's cool about these things too, about the Rod Protec covers, is that they are made to length for my individual rods. Now you can get a generic like 7 foot or whatever from Rod Protec as well, but these are measured from the tip of my rod to the beginning of my reels. So each one is made in particularly for each rod, which is also a good factor because, I usually keep my rods for a very long time. So even if I do change rods later on, I still keep the same length rods. I never really change for each of my tactics. So it's always going to work down the line. And as you see, we got a bunch of different colors here, each with my logo on it. And each color represents a different rod. So I'm going to have these memorized. Like, my orange one there is my worm and jig rod. So, over time, it won't take me long. I'll memorize. I'll know that's my, the orange one is my rod, my worm and jig rod. And at the same time, he also puts on there If you can see there, it says 7-foot medium heavy. So it's actually my rod length and also my action, which will also give me a giveaway, will be a giveaway for what this rod is. Obviously, I don't have a worm and jig on it right now. I got a crankbait, but I wanted to show you something with treble hooks and, you know, show you how it covers up. As you see, it just slides off. So it doesn't get caught up on the treble hooks. Let me get it slid off here. I'm a little limited with room here. So the treble hooks don't get caught on it or nothing because inside here is like a sleeve. So it's like almost like a plastic sleeve that keeps your, you know, your hooks from digging into the neoprene and not getting stuck. So, you know, these are made per length for my rods. You can customize them. He's got them for, you know, obviously casting and spinning rods. This is the spinning rod. You can see it's a little bit fatter for the eyelets over a casting rod. You can see it's how much more wider it is. And once again, this is for my drop shot, so it's a 7-foot medium light, and also the color as well is going to give me my giveaway over time of what rod it is. You know, even for my top water rod, you know, I got a 6'9" medium action casting, and I got that one in navy blue. So you can see it's just a lot better for not that much more money than just your standard mesh one, which just basically protects your rod. They also have full rod wrap, lure wrap, and reel protection. He gave me one to try out, and you can see it's got Velcro basically. Now you can see inside here what the hard plastic looks like that, you know, keeps the hooks from getting caught on the lure itself. But this one goes on very simple. If you're looking for the full piece, you know, one piece for a rod and reel and lure basically wrap, slides on, goes on really easy because it's neoprene, so it's like very slippery but very soft and gives you a lot more protection. And all you got to do is get it over the reel. On the back side here, you can see how it's open, and you just wrap the Velcro. And now you have a reel, lure keeper, and rod wrap all in one. So you can't beat that. You know, maybe I should have went this route. Maybe I will in the future, you know, to help protect my reels as well. But my reels are about 3-4 years old, so I'm not getting as concerned about protecting them. That new feel is gone. But yeah, I think, you know, as I buy reels, I'm sure down the line, I may go with this option just to have everything covered, you know, completely. And actually being covered completely, if that lure does come loose and the drag set a little loose and actually worked itself down the rod, to be honest with you, this is going to keep it all together and not definitely get entangled. So I probably made a mistake not getting this one, but I think we'll be all right. But, you know, we'll review down the line to make sure that the route I took actually works for this. If not, I may be reaching back out to them and getting the whole one piece like this. Shh, don't tell my wife though. So that's definitely cool. Definitely cool having that one piece like that. You know, that's hard to find. Usually you have to get a separate lure keeper, your rod wraps, and so forth. So this is a really cool setup to have everything all in one if you want. Actually, I was just looking for a lure keeper just to start, and he actually decided to make lure keepers out of the same material that wraps around your rod if you're not looking for a reel or rod protection. But then I thought about them moving inside the box, especially to this trip I just did to Alabama recently, a 9-hour ride. And, you know, I didn't have my baits on here, but I had my rods in here. And by the time I got to Alabama, all my rods and everything shifted all the way to the bottom. They were tight together. They were held in place. They were protected. You know, if I had my gear rigged up, that would have been a huge problem because I'm sure I would have had a whole bird's nest in there, especially with everything I keep at the bottom of this. And I know my biggest problem is because it's on a trailer. And this thing, you know, it's built tough, but it does move, it does bounce real easy. And I know that's what the big problem is with this box, how I have it set up. Now, I know if I had this box on top of my ladder rack or, you know, straight on a truck that doesn't move as much as a trailer would, I probably wouldn't need the same amount of protection, but I would still probably need a lure wrap because they are still going to come loose. At least when they come loose inside this, you know, if they do come loose, they're not going to get entangled, you know, on the other rods, but it's going to keep it inside this lure catch together. They also make covers for your power poles. They make covers for saltwater reels, you know, spinning and casting as well with conventional reels. There's a whole bunch of stuff on his website that he's making covers for out of this neoprene material, and it's a lot better, or betterer, than just your standard rod wrap made out of mesh material. This is neoprene. It's soft to the touch. You know, it's going to protect your rods tremendously over just your standard, you know, Bass Stash. We know they're an Amazon product. They're made out of China. Not saying there's nothing wrong with those, but you know, the protection of these Rod Protex are going to be a lot better than just your standard rod wrap. And for a few dollars more, you're supporting local, you're supporting USA, and it's a lot better product. Go check them out. I don't want to prolong this video much longer because I know it's not the most interesting topic, but you know, for people looking for rod wrap that's also a one-piece lure wrap and also a reel wrap, you can't go wrong with the products from Rod Protect whatsoever. And when I see something that I like, I go with it, you know, and you can just tell from all, you know, the research that you can do these days that you're going to like the product. And that's what we have the advantage of today, is that we have the advantage of going on the webs, you know, on the interweb and searching, you know, rod wraps and see what comes up. You know, you got TRC covers, nothing wrong with them, but there's nothing like this one piece rod, lure, and reel wrap from Rod Protect. Now we'll update you guys later on, you know, after about a month or so, make sure that these things are working as I think they will, and I know they will, and how it's actually going to set up inside my box here, and how much better it's going to work with the extra material actually to help hold these in place and keep my lures together as well, without wrapping around all the other rods and reels and get me stressed out when I go to the water. I'm going to stop it there. I'm done talking. Hope you guys like this video. As always, be safe in the water, and I'll catch you guys in the water, and stay tuned for a bunch more fishing videos coming up very soon, because I know you guys have been asking for them.